Have you ever wondered why seniors in countries like Sweden, Norway, and Denmark seem to age so gracefully, living longer, staying active, and often appearing decades younger than their age? What's their secret? Is it the cold air, the clean cities, or something much deeper rooted in their way of life? Well, let me tell you something that might surprise you. It's not just genetics or good luck. It's their lifestyle habits, the small daily choices they've woven into their culture that are quietly extending their lives and helping them thrive well into their 80s and 90s. So today, we're diving into 5 powerful lifestyle habits that seniors in Scandinavia live by. Habits that not only promote long life but also stronger bodies, sharper minds, and happier hearts. And the best part? These habits are completely doable, no matter where you live. Let me introduce you to Ingrid. She's 86 years old and lives in a small town outside of Oslo, Norway. Every morning, she walks to the bakery at the end of her street, picks up a loaf of rye bread, and chats with the woman behind the counter. In the afternoons, she tends to her garden, meets friends for coffee, or reads on her porch. She doesn't go to the gym. She doesn't take a dozen pills. And yet, she moves like someone 20 years younger. When asked what her secret was, she smiled and said, "I keep life simple, and I keep moving." Let's start with the first Scandinavian habit that's adding years to their lives. Daily natural movement, not just exercise. Here's the thing, most Scandinavians don't go to the gym. They don't obsess over workouts. But they move, constantly. They walk to the store. They bike to visit friends. They shovel their own snow, rake leaves, carry groceries. And because their cities are designed for walking and biking, it's just part of daily life. No big deal. No second thought. Compare that to many parts of North America or the UK, where driving is the default, and movement is something scheduled into a calendar. In Scandinavia, movement is just life. A study from the Swedish National Institute of Public Health showed that older adults, who incorporated regular low-intensity movement, walking, biking, even gardening, had 28% lower mortality rates over a 12-year period compared to those who were sedentary. Even short walks made a huge difference. So what can you do? You don't need to change countries, you just need to change your rhythm. Start walking more, especially outdoors. Park a little further from the store. Take the stairs when you can. Stretch while you wait for the kettle to boil. The goal isn't intensity, it's consistency. And if you can, go outside. Because that leads us to the second habit worth copying. Embracing the outdoors. In every season, one of the most remarkable things about seniors in Scandinavia is their love of nature, year-round. Rain, snow, wind, it doesn't matter. There's a Norwegian saying, there's no such thing as bad weather, only bad clothing. They believe fresh air is healing. And they're right. Fresh air boosts circulation, clears the mind, and lowers stress. But beyond that, studies show that spending just 15 minutes outdoors daily can improve vitamin D levels, regulate mood, and reduce the risk of depression, especially in seniors. Let's go back to Ingrid. Every afternoon, no matter the season, she steps outside, even if it's just to sweep her steps or take a short walk. It's part of her day, like brushing her teeth. And this simple habit? It keeps her grounded, energized, and deeply connected to the rhythm of life. If you live in a colder climate and tend to stay inside, consider this your invitation to bundle up and step out, even just for a few minutes. Your body and brain will thank you. Let's talk now about the third Scandinavian secret, and this one is a game changer: balanced eating rooted in whole foods. You won't find many seniors in Sweden binging on fast food or processed snacks. Their meals are simple, seasonal, and full of nutrient-rich whole foods. Think oily fish like salmon and herring, dark rye bread, root vegetables, berries, fermented dairy, and lots of green vegetables. Nothing fancy. Just real food, cooked at home, eaten slowly. In Denmark, many older adults follow a traditional Nordic diet, which emphasizes local produce, grains like barley and oats, and healthy fats. Research from the University of Copenhagen found that seniors following a Nordic-style diet had lower rates of heart disease, diabetes, and cognitive decline. And it's not just what they eat, it's how they eat. Meals in Scandinavian homes are unhurried, often shared, and treated as a time to connect. No TV blaring, no rushing. Just good food and better company. So what can we learn from this? Start by simplifying your meals. Skip the packaged food. Make a pot of vegetable soup. Add oily fish to your diet once a week. Replace white bread with dark, dense rye. Swap soda for water with lemon or herbal tea. Remember, eating well doesn't have to be complicated, it just has to be consistent. We've now explored 3 habits that are transforming lives in Scandinavia. But we're just getting started. Before we move on, I'd love to know, where are you watching this from? Type the name of your city or country in the comments below. Let's see how far this message of elderly wisdom, senior health, and inspiration can reach. And if you're finding this content helpful, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Here at Elderly Reflections, we share motivation, life lessons from the elderly, and practical tools to help you live stronger, longer, and with more joy. Now that we've looked at how seniors in Scandinavia move naturally, embrace the outdoors, and eat with balance, it's time to dig even deeper into what truly sets their lifestyle apart. Because while physical health is important, there's something else at play here, something often forgotten in modern conversations about aging. And that's emotional well-being and social connection. Let's talk about the 4th Scandinavian habit that helps their seniors thrive. Strong social bonds and community support. In Sweden, there's a word. Lagom. It means not too much, not too little, just right. This philosophy shows up everywhere in their culture, especially in how people relate to one another. Seniors in Scandinavia rarely feel isolated. They're deeply woven into the fabric of society, seen, respected, and valued. Many towns have local clubs for older adults, gardening groups, choir groups, book circles, walking meetups. They're not senior-only spaces, but intergenerational gatherings where elderly wisdom is shared, not sidelined. And it matters, a lot. A 2022 study from the Karolinska Institute in Stockholm found that seniors with regular social interactions had a 43% lower risk of developing dementia, compared to those who were socially isolated. That's not a small number. That's a life-changing difference. Let me introduce you to Arne. He's 88 and lives in a cozy apartment in Gothenburg. Every Wednesday, he meets 2 friends at the same cafe they've been visiting for over 40 years. They talk about everything, old memories, world news, what hurts today, and what they're grateful for. Sometimes they sit in silence. Sometimes they laugh like teenagers. But they always meet. When asked about the secret to his long life, Arne didn't hesitate. Friendship. If you've ever felt lonely, especially as the years go by, you're not alone. But you also don't have to stay that way. Reaching out, even if it's a phone call, a shared walk, or joining a local group, can add years to your life. And if you're someone who feels like you don't have many close friends anymore, remember this: it's never too late to build connection. Start small. Say hello to a neighbor. Join a local class. Even commenting on videos like this is a way to reconnect with a shared community of seniors all around the world who are also looking to live fully and freely. Because in Scandinavia, aging is not seen as decline, it's seen as harvest. A time when your stories, your presence, and your quiet strength are needed. Now let's look at the 5th and final habit, the one that may be the hardest to define, but the most important to live by: a calm, purposeful approach to life. Scandinavians have a deep respect for slow living. They're not racing against time. They're not trying to do 10 things at once. And they don't measure their worth by how busy they are. Instead, they focus on what matters. Meaningful work, daily rituals, time in nature, good food, and shared moments. In Finland, there's a word, sisu. It means inner strength, quiet determination, and resilience in the face of life's challenges. Seniors there embody it not by charging ahead, but by showing up every day with intention and steadiness. Consider Margit, a 91-year-old retired schoolteacher from Helsinki. She wakes up at the same time each morning. She waters her plants, reads the newspaper, writes in a small notebook. She walks to the store, talks to her neighbors, knits quietly in the afternoon sun. Her life is not loud, but it is rich. That kind of rhythm keeps your nervous system calm, your mind clear, and your body balanced. It lowers stress hormones like cortisol, which are known to accelerate aging, inflammation, and memory loss. And the best part? You can create this peace anywhere. Start by asking, what daily ritual brings me peace? What can I simplify? Where can I slow down and just be? Maybe it's your morning tea, or journaling before bed. Maybe it's sitting outside for 10 minutes without your phone. These are not small things. They are everything. Because as one Danish elder said, happiness doesn't come from more. It comes from enough. So let's bring this all together. Scandinavia's longest living seniors aren't obsessed with health fads. They're not chasing anti-aging creams or magic diets. They're simply living lives full of movement, nature, real food, strong friendships, and quiet purpose. You don't need to move to Norway to enjoy these benefits. You just need to start living like you belong there. And I want to ask you something. Which of these 5 habits are you already doing? And which one will you try this week? Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your story. Whether you're in Sweden or Spain, Florida or France, your journey matters. And if this message resonated with you, please give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. Here on Elderly Reflections, we're all about elderly wisdom, senior health, motivation, quotes, and the inspiration that helps us all grow stronger, no matter our age. You've made it this far. That means something. So far, we've uncovered 5 simple yet powerful habits that help seniors in Scandinavia live longer, healthier, and happier lives. Natural daily movement, time outdoors in all seasons, whole food eating, strong social ties, and a calm, purpose-filled rhythm to everyday life. But now, let's talk about something deeper. Because these habits aren't just physical routines, they're part of a mindset, a way of living that honors aging instead of fearing it. And that mindset is what we, too, can learn from and live by. In Scandinavia, growing older isn't something to hide from. It's embraced, valued, celebrated. There's dignity in the wrinkles, wisdom in the silence, and strength in the slow, steady steps of an 85-year-old still tending her garden or riding his bike to the village store. And maybe that's the greatest secret of all. Let me share a moment with you. In a small fishing village in Denmark, there's a man named Lars. He's 93. Still rides his bike every day. Still sharp as a tack. I asked him, "What's kept you going all these years?" He smiled and said, "I never rushed through life. I always made time for people, fresh air, and good soup. That's it. Simple. And yet, everything." This calm, grounded approach to life is something many of us have lost in the whirlwind of modern society. We rush, we stress, we overthink. But what if we took a page from Lars' book? What if we slowed down, not because we're old, but because we finally understand what matters? That's what seniors in Scandinavia have done. They've stripped life back to the essentials, and found meaning in the process. So now, let's shift the lens to you. What can you take from their way of life and apply, starting today? Maybe it's walking to the shop instead of driving. Maybe it's choosing a bowl of warm homemade soup over processed food. Maybe it's calling a friend instead of watching TV alone. Maybe it's sitting by the window with a blanket and a book instead of scrolling on your phone. You don't need to uproot your life to live longer. You just need to live better in the little moments. And there's one more thing we need to talk about, something woven into Scandinavian culture that can radically change how we age. Intergenerational respect. In countries like Sweden and Finland, elders are not pushed aside. They are listened to. Their stories are cherished. Their presence is seen as vital. There are schools where children and seniors share the same building, learning together, growing together. Programs where young people volunteer to cook and talk with the elderly, not out of obligation, but out of mutual respect. It creates a sense of purpose for seniors and teaches the young to value time, history, and human connection. Imagine what that does to the soul of a person in their 80s or 90s, to feel that they still matter, that they are still contributing. Because purpose is as important as protein when it comes to longevity. You may be retired, but you're not done. You may move slower, but your words carry weight. You may have lost things, people, memories, but what you've gained, perspective, clarity, experience, is priceless. So, let me ask you, what is your gift now? What can you still give, to yourself, to others, to the world? It might be a story, a smile, a moment of patience, a shared recipe, or a hand-knitted scarf for someone cold. Give it. Because giving is living. Now, let's circle back. You've learned 5 habits worth copying from the world's longest living, healthiest seniors in Scandinavia. First, they move naturally. Not just exercise, they live active lives. Second, they get outside. Every single day, in every kind of weather. Third, they eat simply. Whole foods, shared meals, and mindful eating. Fourth, they stay socially connected. Friendships are prioritized. Fifth, they live calmly, with purpose. Less rushing, more meaning. But above all else, they honor the journey of aging. And you can, too. Because no matter where you're starting from, no matter your aches, your fears, your regrets, you have a choice. To turn each day into a blessing. To treat your body with care. To move, connect, and reflect like you're worthy of a long and joyful life. Because you are. So let me ask you, which of these habits will you start with this week? Is it morning walks? A simple, nourishing meal? Calling an old friend? Or just breathing deeply while watching the trees sway in the wind? Let us know in the comments. I read every one. And please, if you found this video inspiring, if it reminded you of your strength, if it helped you feel seen, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Here at Elderly Reflections, we believe in lifting each other up with motivation, senior health tips, inspiration, and life lessons from the elderly that remind us, growing old is not the end, it's the beginning of wisdom. So wherever you are watching from, I hope you carry this truth with you today. You don't need to live in Scandinavia to live like them. You just need to start living with intention. Here's to long walks, warm soup, fresh air, and friendships that stand the test of time. Here's to you. And here's to living well, at any age.